Jimmy in the morning.
Is it ever okay to be angry? Well, let's look at this. James chapter 1 verse 20 says, human anger does not produce the righteousness that God desires. Human anger. Well, is there a different kind of anger? Like, is there righteous anger? Well, there is a handful of times that Jesus got angry in the Bible, and I want to look at a couple of them. The first one's in John chapter 2. This is pretty famously known. Jesus walks into the temple and he starts overthrowing tables and chases out the money changers. Why did he do that? I mean, that sounds like anger to me, doesn't it? To you? Well, he didn't do it because they were selling pumpkin spice lattes in the lobby. He didn't do this because they were selling church merch in the corner. No, he did this because there's a group of people that found a way to exploit these people wanting salvation, wanting to be saved, wanting the kingdom of heaven to come into their lives. And they said, hey, we can profit out of this. So Jesus walks in and he gets angry because people are getting taken advantage of. Then in Mark chapter 3, there's this dude with a withered hand. And the religious leaders, they're waiting to see if Jesus is going to heal this guy on the Sabbath. Now, I guess they considered healing working on the Sabbath. You weren't supposed to do anything. So they're going to say, wait, is Jesus going to heal this guy? Jesus heals the dude with the withered hand. And these religious leaders, the Pharisees, they freak out. And the Bible says in Mark chapter 3 that Jesus looked at them in anger. Yeah, he looked around in anger. He was deeply distressed. Why? Because their hearts were stubborn. They cared more about this law. They cared more about the rules than they did about this guy with the withered hand. I mean, this guy with the withered hand, like, you should be celebrating. He just was healed. Instead, they were mad and they're like, aha, we got you, Jesus. And it says he turned to them and he was angry. So what that tells me is, yeah, there is such thing as righteous anger. So how do I know if it's righteous anger or if it's human anger? Well, I'm going to say this. Most likely, if the thing that you're angry about is because you were done wrong, probably human anger. If you're mad because somebody did something to you and you're all mad about it, probably human anger. I'm just going to throw that out there. But if it's something that's done to somebody else because they are marginalized, because they are downtrodden, because they need help and somebody does something to them and that's what makes you angry, well, I think then we got a pretty good argument that it's righteous anger. And I'll just say this, usually what you love is what makes you angry. So if you're all about you and you love you, yeah, you're going to get angry because somebody did something to you. But when we love people, just people in general, and somebody comes and does something to those people, and because they can bully them, because they can treat them bad, well, that might be something that you get a little angry about and may be considered righteous anger. Now, if you go on Facebook or social media or Instagram and you're looking for somebody to argue with, oh, this person's from a different church, so I'm going to argue with them, or we're going to argue because I see it this way, you see it that way. If you're going to go on Facebook and you're going to write under other people's comments, idiot, stupid, that kind of thing, I would say probably human anger. And I'm just going to say this. Some people are always looking for a fight because they're not in one. But when you're in a fight for those that need you, for those that need help, for those that are downtrodden, for those that the world considers less than, well, then you're not going around looking for a fight because you're already in one, because you're standing up for justice. You're standing up for those people. And that's what Jesus was doing with the man with the withered hand, and when he went to the temple and he started overturning tables. So my question is your anger human anger, or is it righteous anger?